Hi, everyone. I'm Pam from the Stitch TV show. We are back for another celebrity interview. I am joined, of course, by my co-host, Lynn.
Hello, everyone. Exciting you're joining us.
And we are terribly excited to be joined by famous celebrity, Bonnie Hunter.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? This is my first time doing a face-to-face chat. I'm really excited. Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. So we had the opportunity to meet in person when you came to our local guild and like ridiculously fangirled.
Oh, that was ridiculously fun. Anytime in Georgia is a great time.
Absolutely. So Bonnie, for anyone that doesn't know, why don't you give everyone a little background on who you are and how you got started quilting?
Oh my goodness, how much time do we have for this interview? I've loved sewing from the time I was little, and around the age of 10 years, my mom was my Bluebirds leader, and then she became my Campfire Girls leader, and anything crafty I love to do. But into junior high, I started getting into home ec and making, whatever random home ec project, dirndl skirt, apron, tote bag, whatever it was. My senior year of high school, we remember back to second semester of 1980. Oh boy, the year that disco died. I had all the credits I needed to graduate, but I wanted something that would keep my grade point up, and I took an advanced home ec class, and my teacher just happened to be a quilter. She started back with the 1976 bicentennial thing. So we grabbed our graph paper and drafted blocks and made our own blocks. And I think I was hooked from then. There was still clothing and things that happened into my early married years. But when I discovered that there were patchwork magazines in the grocery store and it could enter the grocery cart and become part of the grocery budget, there was no turning back because I had the scraps already. And one project led to another and led to another and led to another. And I started really quilting right about the time that the rotary cutter was invented, and I was hooked. Scrap quilts have always been a favorite. So that's mostly what you'll find me doing is multi-fabric quilts. Even though it comes from new fabric, if it has more than 100 different fabrics in it, I still call it a scrap quilt. People ask where the scraps come from. They just breed. So, so I've been doing that for quite a while. I write a regular column for Quiltmaker magazine. I've been blogging at Quiltville for over 12 years now. We're going into our 13th year. It's my online journal. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's poignant, sometimes it's just what the heck is she thinking? But it's a wonderful record of projects and processes and things that have gone on over the last while. I love social media. I love sharing with other quilters. So you'll find a little bit of me everywhere, I bet.
Oh, I can't believe you've been doing this 13 years.
I know. And if I go back to the first one, the very first post was before I even thought of, I got to do something besides quilting, and I went back to school to get my national certification in massage therapy and bodywork. And I did that for a few years, but it was right back to quilting. It's just, when that's your thing, it's your thing, do what you want to do. So we have fun with that, but it's a wild record.
I love a good Milli Vanilli reference, for the record. I totally
Just don't get me to sing. My son says, Mom, you've got a jukebox in your head, turn it off. And anytime somebody says something, some kind of a lyric, out it comes, I just can't stop it.
You can blame that on the rain.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
I have one follow-up question.
Okay.
In your home ec class, did you also do cross stitch on gingham?
Yes, we did. And I have a little apron with that little chicken scratch design on it. My gingham was brown. So we've come full circle from that 1970s, 1980s brown to the browns of today. It all goes round and round. I still have that. I have that.
So we know that the mystery colors just came out, but what are you currently working on or designing right now?
Oh my gosh. Do I get a chance to even grab this thing?
Yes, of course.
This just came off the machine about an hour ago.
Oh,
and this is my sugar bowl block, and it's made out of all recycled shirts. So some of the shirts were sent to me by friends, they send a sleeve. It's kind of fun to receive sleeves in the mail. But I wanted to do something that just was busy, scrappy, happy, fun, and made from recycled fabric. So that's the latest thing. The other thing that I have going on right now is, well, I'm deep in deadlines for my next book release, and my deadline on manuscript is January 2nd. So there's not a whole lot of quilty projects coming out of me right now. Mostly it's just words on a screen. So, but I have an ongoing hexagon project that follows me around everywhere I go, including to the Midnight Vet, as happened this past week. I know Sadie, our dog loves the dog next door and tried to climb under the chain link fence. So, but never leave home without your busy bag. You never know when you're going to need it.
That's true. That is truth right there.
Yeah.
So you mentioned, well, Lynn mentioned mystery colors.
Oh yeah, you want to see them?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. First one up, chocolate brown, reminiscent of the gingham chocolate brown crosshatch chicken scratch thing. Okay. Next color up, aqua. These paint chips are from Lowe's, by the way. You don't need them, but I found it helpful to pull colors that weren't too green or too blue from my stash this way. And we have coral to melon right here. Does this look like anything on your end?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course, it's our colors. We
It's
love
your colors.
aqua.
Yeah. So if anybody hasn't heard of the mystery quilt before, we've done this. I think this is like our 12th mystery. It happens during the holidays because I find that there's a lot of quilters that are lonely or alone. Maybe they're newly widowed or divorced, or their kids are across country or overseas. And while people have small kids and life is busy, Christmas is great, but for a lot of the population, it's really difficult. So we do this. And our first clue goes live the day after Thanksgiving. It'll be on my blog, so you just follow along. We'll have the link for you at the end of this. And then every Friday, you get a clue. So one week you might be making half square triangles. The next week you might be making 4 patches or rail fence units or flying geese or whatever. And these are just an idea, not necessarily in this year's mystery quilt.
That's why it's a mystery.
That's why it's a mystery. But we do have all of the information at the top of my blog under the On Ringo Lake Mystery tab, because that's the title of this year's mystery. And I hope you'll join along. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. So where is Ringo Lake?
Ringo Lake is a couple hours drive out of the Twin Cities in Minnesota, outside of Spicer, Minnesota. It's just a beautiful area, and I traveled up there for the first time to visit my aunt and uncle in August. And of course, I was one of those, I can't sleep, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to go outside and walk and explore. And the mist was just hanging over the water, and here's my uncle's boat just kind of tipped on the shore, just sitting there. It was perfect photo op. So the colors of the photo and the boat and the sunrise and the water and the mist and everything are what gave us our colors this year.
So I know that the last couple of years, and maybe it's been more than I've been watching your mystery quilt, that you're always inspired by travel. Is that where you get a lot of your inspiration?
Travel and photos, yeah. And it's just always, when you travel, you tend to look at things a little bit differently and maybe look at colors of things, whether it's the sunset or a sunrise or a tile design or a painting on a wall or whatever it is, something will just strike you. And it's really fun to tie those to places where I've been in the past year or so. But I think we surprised everybody with this one because it's stateside.
Oh yeah, because wasn't last year Italy?
Yep, last year was actually France, and then the year before was Italy, and then the year before that was Mackinac Island, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I just got back from China, but this China trip was too late. The quilt already needed to be done so that we could release the colors. So who knows? Right. Maybe China next year.
Ooh, China. I can imagine all kinds of colors with China.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Bonnie, we always ask really fun questions just to kind of get into the minds of the celebrities that we interview.
I'm ready.
So this is one of our fun questions. If you only had 3 foods on a desert island, and those are the only 3 foods that you could eat for the rest of your life, what would they be?
Oh my goodness. See, if you had asked me this 2 weeks ago, I would have said Chinese food, of course. It was always my wish to eat Chinese food 3 meals a day. And I just did that for 8 days straight. I think I'm done on my Chinese food quota for a while. I would probably have to say Tex-Mex and barbecue.
Oh, barbecue.
Barbecue, hands down. Yeah.
Okay, but what kind of barbecue? Because there's like a whole.
You know, and I have a lot of barbecue adventure in my life because we moved, first of all, from Idaho to Texas, and I fell in love with Texas barbecue. And then we moved from Texas to South Carolina, and it was quite a culture shock because you go in to order barbecue and all of a sudden it's baby poop yellow. and what is this mustard sauce thing? It was an acquired taste, but I grew to like it. But I think Texas barbecue by far is my favorite.
So your beef barbecue.
I love, yeah, give me some good beef ribs and I'm happy.
Awesome. Yeah, I just came back from a trip to Austin, and brisket as far as the eye could see. Just full of brisket.
And brisket in North Carolina is not the same thing. Brisket in North Carolina is like pot roast. It's very strange. It's good, but it's pot roast.
Yeah. So Bonnie, let's go full of Gilligan's Island. And if you had a yacht to get to this desert island, what would your yacht be named?
The Stitch Witch, of course.
I think that's the best one we've heard, Pam.
I was hoping that somebody else wouldn't have chosen that one. You know, I was, you know, Gone Scrappin' was my second choice, but I think the Stitch Witch would have to be it.
There you go. That was great. All right, so this one's for me.
Okay.
So, Pam always makes fun of me because I have interesting non-cuss words. So I'm like, I'm not the only one who does it, who makes up cuss words that aren't like technically. So what's your favorite non-cuss word?
Shagnastum.
I've never heard that.
Shagnastum. And there's a couple others, you know, like Farfignugan was another one that I would let the boys get by with when they were growing up. Those Volkswagen commercials were big, but Shagnastum is mine. And the other one that we always would get a giggle at, my husband is a huge MASH fan. Oh, and right. The Colonel would always say horse hockey. So we would let the boys get by with saying horse hockey when they couldn't say bull, you know. Right. So, exactly. And they thought it was funny and they couldn't understand what's the difference between the two. Well, but Shagnastum is by far my favorite.
That's a good one. I'm gonna have to put that in my repertoire.
Yeah, okay.
This is funny, Hunter.
I love Colonel Sherman T. Potter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So the next time you hear him say horse hockey, you'll know.
When we write patterns, Bonnie, we always put what you should watch while you're making our quilts. So we always have videos and like music to listen to. So we may need to make a MASH quilt.
Oh, I think so. I think so. It's hysterical.
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about MASH. Yep. And I know from a recent blog post you just binged Alias Grace, and I like paused episode 3.
Oh my word! Oh my word!
Yeah. So what do you tend to watch or listen to when you're stitching or designing or?
It depends what I'm doing. If I'm designing and I'm writing and I need to absolutely concentrate on what I'm doing, nothing with lyrics. So I tend to put on the spa channel or relaxation channel on Pandora. And the music just floats in the background and it doesn't interrupt my thoughts. If you put anything with lyrics on it, anything kind of peppy, I'm going to start singing along and pretty soon that's what I'm typing. So can't do that. But if I'm hand stitching, I am a big binge watcher. I've been binge watching lately, catching up on the last episodes I missed of Revenge. Ooh. And Scandal. And I love things with plot twists that make you go, no way, and you rewind it and have to watch that again. Alias Grace, I did it all yesterday, all in one day. I feel like the kid who ate their entire Easter basket. But the quilt references through the whole thing were amazing, and I even backtracked to look at that quilt and look at how their hands are spreading that quilt on, and it was a creepy show, but a good creepy. Sometimes you just got to have a good creepy. It was good.
Don't you find yourself like if you're watching something and there's a quilt in the background or a quilt on the bed, you're like, oh my gosh, look at that quilt.
Pause, just pause. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And in fact, with the Alias Grace one, where she's showing, I don't want to give any spoilers, but she shows a quilt at the very end. And there is a cheddar colored fabric. And I zoomed in and dag nabbit if I didn't have that in my stash. In fact, I was considering it as binding for the sugar bowl quilt, but
oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it is just funny. It's just funny how we do that.
That's totally fun. So, any social handles and website, if you could give our viewers how to
give everybody
to follow you.
Yes, if they want to visit my website, which links to just about everything, it's quiltville.com. So quiltville.com. But if you go to my blog, quiltville.blogspot.com, it's also accessible from the main Quiltville page. But you'll find my my main Facebook page is Quiltville Friends, and we hope you'll join us there. We just turned 110,000 this week. I think because of the mystery, everybody's excited. So I want to welcome all the new ones and those who have hung in for the past many years. I think I started Facebook in 2007 or 8, so it's been a long journey. We have a Facebook group called Quiltville's Open Studio, and right now we're about 73,000 happy quilters pulling fabrics for the mystery. The difference between a group and my page is personal, so I post life things there as well as quilting things, but the group page is interactive. It's an online group, so you can post your photo and everybody else can comment on it, and you can comment on everybody else's, and everything stays in an ongoing news feed. So you'll want to check out both of those. My Instagram is Quiltville_Bonnie, and I hope you'll join me there too. I really love keeping up with what other people are doing, but I found myself in Instagram jail this week.
Oh no.
It seems that when I got back from China, I was trying so hard to catch up on everything I missed because I wasn't able to really connect, but I clicked like on too many things in a rapid fashion, too many things in a row on people who had commented on my post, trying to catch up with what they commented, and they put me in jail. So I can't click like on anything anymore.
You get out of jail at a certain point?
I don't know. So just a word of warning, if you really like somebody's stuff, one like is good enough. You don't have to like their everything, or they think you're a robot. Yeah. So if you don't see me liking your posts, it likes you from here, but not from here.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I know.
That's funny. So thank you so much for joining us. Man, we have been fans of yours for a long time. And we like hanging out with you. And so, gosh.
I love it. Well, and I love following you guys too. Keep up the good work. I also love to binge watch on your shows when I'm watching YouTube. We didn't mention YouTube. So keep up the good work. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Bonnie. We will give everyone links in the show notes on where to find you.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And stay tuned for Mystery Quilt season.
Bring it on. I'm ready.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone, for joining, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
See you later, everybody. Bye-bye.